And it says we're alive. It's Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. Must mean it's time for GotBot Goes live. I'm going to adjust the camera here so slightly down a little bit. Bear with me here, guys. Just because I think it was probably up a bit too high. Maybe it wasn't up too high. I mean, let's be realistic. You'd probably rather look at the toys behind me than me anyway, right? I understand. I get it. I don't take it personal, baby. We're going to have a good time tonight. We have not a lot of news, which is kind of good because the last couple of weeks have been pretty big shows. We do have a very, very interesting unboxing that I'm excited about tonight. We're going to dig a little bit deeper into the Ironhide and the good and the bad of the new SS86 Ironhide. We're going to talk about Blanker and Peacemaker. We're going to talk about a possible new Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. I'm going to talk about that up and coming. Take that though as a huge rumor. And yeah, so we're going to you got to give me a minute here to get settled. So bear with me. Hope you guys are having a tremendous week heading into the weekend. Let's just go here. Bear with me a little bit. And I actually have one thing that came in today that I'm actually not going to do as part of tonight's unboxing. I'm going to save it. We're going to do it as next week's unboxing. But I do have one extra thing that I'm not actually going to do in the unboxing tonight. I'm specifically going to save it for next week, right? Just so we got something there. Hey, Keldio. Hey, Brian. Hey, Boss Gunny. Hey, Marcus. Happy to see all of you guys here. Hey, Lance. I'm just getting going. Ultra Megatronus. Glad you're here, buddy. Hi, Tracer. I'm going to kind of get myself set up here ever so slightly as we're waiting for people to come in. So bear with me a little bit. Hope you guys are having a tremendous week. Mine has been busy. It's been interesting. I've made some progress on Universal Collision, though I'm waiting for Starscream Wife to do some lines for me for a couple of parts. I have made a lot of progress on the Lio Kaiser custom. We'll talk about that soon. We actually have a question tonight for trivia, and then we have a follow-up question. And for those that are just kind of coming in and like eking in here slowly now, we are going to talk about a rumor, I would say a huge rumor at this point, of a possible new SS86 Hot Rod. We'll see. We'll see about that one. So let me lay that. Let me lay that there. Let's see. It's too hot today. Hope it's cooler for all. It's cooler here today, certainly than it was, I'd say, last week. But that being said, it's also pretty humid, and we've had some rain. So, but we needed it. We've had a lot of wildfires in the center of the province, and honestly, we need rain, right? Which is strange for us. Like, I don't know if we've ever really had wildfires before. Like, I'm 44, and I don't ever remember a summer this hot ever. Usually, we get 2 weeks. This time we've had maybe a solid month of high temperatures. Now, the last 3 or 4 days have been more temperate, like 12, 13, 14 degrees, which is kind of a little more temperate when you get overcast and rain. But before that, we had maybe 3 weeks of, 30, 35, 38, 39 degrees. It was nuts. And because it went on so long, things got dry and we started to have wildfires, which is, we're in the North Atlantic. Like, you wouldn't really expect it here, but such is life. Hey, Jay. I've gotten Generation Selects Bug Bite. Nice, Keldio. Nice. Okay, so let's get into the news. We don't have a ton of it, but let's get into the news. Hey, Waspinator. And I'll do a little bit of the kind of easier news first. Then I'll show off the update to Jaguar and Leo Zach. Now, that being said, some people saw that I posted an image of Jaguar. I've done a little bit of work since then. A couple of people asked, why are the big blocks on Jaguar shoulders? That's because that's what becomes kind of the spine and back and shoulders of Lio Kaiser. It's just that they can stay on there. And some people say, well, it looks big, and it does in robot mode. However, when you put them in vehicle mode, they're the two big missile launcher, like Canon things that he has up over, right? the nice part is the way that they're made. If you don't want them on his arms, take them off. It's very simple to do. Very pop in, pop out. Very, very simple to do. I just leave them there because why not, right? The Leozak was definitely interesting to have to customize and paint because the Leozak head is very small and it was 3D printed. It's smaller than the last head that I had on him, which made it more difficult to paint. And I had to paint the parts of Lyle Kaiser's head that folds up in his chest. So I had to make sure that they were painted, but in such a way that the paint wouldn't rub when you fold it up, right? And it's been successful. Jalaguar still needs a little bit of work to him, but he's coming along. He's coming along. So very quick news. First things first. Origins Bumblebee designs, kind of information was put up. They talked about how Mark talked about how the backpack, the thruster pack, was black. He originally wanted it to be silver, as it should be silver, but the PA plastic wouldn't take the silver paint that they use. They call it unpaintable plastic. I mean, you can paint it, but the paint that they use doesn't work on it. And unfortunately, an idea that got nixed because it hurt the aesthetic of the thruster backpack apparently was that there were going to be kind of notches on the backpack so you could put the 5 energon rods in there. It's too bad that got nixed. I would have liked to have had somewhere specific to put those rods, or at least I would have liked for Bumblebee to have open hands to hold those rods. Such is life. It's not hateful by any stretch of the imagination. I love Bumblebee. I mean, I'm not a Bumblebee fan. You guys know this, but I think the Origins Bumblebee is fantastic. I really, really do. I mean, I think he was a bit overpriced at deluxe, but he's definitely not a Legends. Like he was close to deluxe. It would have been nice. I talked about it last week. It'd be nice if for the size classes now we got like a bit of a price range. I think that could really work. So the smaller ones, like Bumblebee maybe would have been, $22 Canadian, and maybe something on the higher end like Ironhide or Impactor, for example, could be, maybe they would be more like the $33, $34. I don't think 35 or 36 is even sensible, but like a range like that, it could be interesting to see how it would work. Nevertheless, I think that the Origins Bumblebee is good. It's too bad that they had to make those allowances for his backpack to work. It is what it is. Such is life. Still kind of neat to see it, right? Too bad it got axed. Core Class Wheelie and Ratchet, both of which are Studio Series 86. Both of them are out in the US. Not out here, though our pegs are clogged with Ravage and Shockwave. And I mean clogged, like, when you get to the front of the peg and like you got those 4 or 5 that's like jammed on the peg and like they're really kind of pushing out. Well, that's the way those are. They're not selling. They're asking, depending on where you go, they're asking somewhere between $15.99 and $19.99. And a lot of people, it's funny. I was there and I had a couple of people ahead of me because I was doing checks all week, right? And I had a couple of people ahead of me. I would say that they were average consumers. They weren't Transformers fans. They were average consumers. They had a couple of kids there with them, and one of them wanted like Scourge or something like that. The Studio Series Scourge, Sweep, I guess I should say. And the parent was like, well, that's a little complicated and that's kind of expensive. Maybe this one, and picked out something Cyberverse, right? And then the other kid was looking at Shockwave and wanted Shockwave. And I kid you not, the mother looked at it and looked at the price at $15.99. This isn't worth any more than $10. Put it back. That's what she said. That is an average consumer. I had no interaction with them. I just overheard the conversation while I was waiting to see the Transformers myself. And I feel like that's indicative of, at least in Canada, I feel like that's indicative of where like the general consumer is going. In the US might be different. I don't know. But it's up here, the stuff's just not selling the same, man. But nevertheless, Ratchet and Wheelie are out. And if you're in for them, start hunting whatever state you're in, I guess. I think they've been showing up at Targets. Leave it to Target, right? What else do we have here? Story of Transformers book is available on Amazon. I have no idea what this book is. I know nothing about it. Speaking of Amazon, though, I'm very happy to say that my Amazon orders finally shipped. Well, all of them except RC. RC is still saying January of 2023. Let's hope that she gets pushed up like she did in the US. But my other Amazon orders finally shipped. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. I was also charged for a couple of pre-orders I had with Walmart. I don't have like a notice that they've shipped, but I stopped getting the daily emails that said, hey, there's been a change to the release date. So they've stopped. The charges like went through, and I guess they're shipped. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. I've never ordered anything from Walmart, so I don't know. We'll have to see. Prime One Studios showed off this week their Transmetal 2 Megatron. Two versions of him. Keep in mind, he stands at 29 inches, not centimeters, inches tall. 29 inches tall. That's gigantic. And of course, they showed him off recently at some of the cons. It might have been at SDCC, might have been WonderCon, might have been ACG, might have been all of them. But anybody who has seen it saw that he's standing really over the corpse of Tarantulas, and it's a tremendous scene. It's art, no doubt. It's a tremendous scene. So you can get the basic version, which it is what it is. It's a statue. Or you can get the deluxe version that comes with 3 heads for Megatron, so they're interchangeable. 2, I think, right arms, is it? Yeah, I think 2 right arms and an alternate head for Tarantulas. So if you want to be able to change out the arms, if you want to be able to change out the facial expressions, you could get the deluxe. I don't have a price, but I got to believe that it's expensive from Prime One Studios. And of course, the base is like the lava base, right? They're in like the lava pit, and he's standing over Tarantulas' body. Really, really beautiful, honestly. Really, really beautiful. What else do we have here? Wonderful Trans, new third-party company, apparently, showed off Ronin. For those of you who don't know, Ronin is their take on IDW Drift. He's going to stand 21 centimeters tall, which is about 8.25 inches. I would guess that that's Masterpiece scale. I don't know. I don't know Masterpiece, right? But I would guess that's maybe the height of the Masterpiece, like Lambos and stuff. The Masterpiece cars would be my guess. He comes with 3 swords, his long one, and then the 2 like dagger-like swords that's on his side. Very clean looking robot mode, very clean looking alt mode. If the tolerances are good, if the asking price is reasonable, they might be on to something. It looks good. Will it function good? I don't know, but it looks really good. And if you're a big Drift fan, if you'd like to add him to, like, I'd say your MP collection, this might be the way to go. Might be the way to go if I'm right about the scale. And I might be wrong about the scale. I don't know. But like I said, 21 centimeters, 8.25 inches. Speaking of Masterpiece, MPM 10 Starscream is getting kind of a re-release. And I talked about it last week. He's going to come out now with his Revenge of the Fallen look. It doesn't look like there's any new parts or new accessories or anything like that. But he's kind of a darker tone overall, and he has all of his tats, right, from Revenge of the Fallen. So if you want the, like, tatted up Starscream, he's coming. It's a great. The MPM Starscream is really great, honestly. MPM has been kind of hit or miss. I think Barricade is the best, but the Starscream was pretty good. What else do we have here? Pointblank and Peacemaker. We saw some more new images. I honestly thought they were going to use a Battle Master for Peacemaker. He looks like trash. It's no better than what we got in G1. He's a brick. I'm really hoping Autobot 00 does a 3D printable version. For anybody who knows what I'm talking about, I reviewed on the channel Nebulon to go with Ricochet, as well as Nightstick to go with Cyclonus, and Pinpointer to go with Crosshairs. I really hope he has a Peacemaker. He probably does, because as far as I'm concerned, the plastic that was used in that Peacemaker, you could have thrown it in the trash and kind of squared off the hips, because I want Pointblank. I'm sure he's great, but I look at the like rounded hips and I'm like, I feel like the breakup between like the end of his tummy and then his hips and his thighs, like that whole pelvis area looks weird to me for some reason. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if you guys like the pelvis on him, but I feel like rather than rounded hips, maybe they should have somehow been squared. I thought it was great that he was coming with Peacemaker, but then when I saw Peacemaker, I was like, kind of gross. It's not the peacemaker I want. I'm just saying. We also saw images coming from Takara Tomy of Dead End. I think from the waist up, Dead End looks fine. He's obviously, as somebody mentioned last week, it might be Caldeo. I could be wrong about that, though. Somebody mentioned last week how apparently he's a heavy retool of drag strip. I couldn't see it, but when I see the robot, yeah, he's definitely a heavy retool of drag strip for sure. Then we get to his feet, which are almost non-feet. Like, you think the Combiner Wars one had like no feet. His feet are trash. They look like utter garbage. You just flip down, like, I'm gonna say the bumper, and like the bumper has like a spur off of it that we're gonna call his heel spur, and that's his feet. Like, I'm sure they probably function fine. I think the way they're angled and stuff, that there's enough that I think he'll be pretty solid. If he's anything like drag strip, he'll be pretty solid. But it looks really, really bad from the waist down. I won't even say from the waist down, from like the knees down. He looks really bad. Knees up, looks great. Looks like he jumped off the screen, but I'm not digging the way that they did the feet. Maybe it's just me. They look like, I tell you, because it's like a bumper, they look really fragile to me. Like, they look like they would break off like that, and I could be wrong. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not getting a good feeling about them. But we'll see. We'll see with time, right? What else do we have here? Canon is crossing over with Transformers. I think we talked last week about the Optimus Prime. It looks weird. In robot mode, there's a little matrix that goes in like the lens. I don't think this is a working camera. I don't think it's a working R5. I think it's just reminiscent of an R5. And like, it looks realistic, but I don't think it is real. And like, you talk about Fatimus Prime, like, I feel like the inspiration for this Optimus got to be that Energon Optimus, right? That, let's take this big body and just put arms, legs, and a head on it. And then it cracked me up. So many people said, why would they go with Optimus Prime and not Refractor? Refractor. I'm like, oh, you're obviously newbies. The guy's name first is Reflector, not Refractor. Dude's name's Reflector. And yes, it would have made more sense from a fan's perspective for the Canon thing to be Reflector. However, when you're talking about the like average consumer or somebody who just collects a character, nobody just collects reflectors, I bet. But I know for a fact there are people who only collect Optimus Primes. He's more marketable. He's more bankable. Even if they wanted to do Reflector, they definitely went to the, to the Hasbro. They definitely went to the corporate man. And this is how it went. So they said, hey, we're going to do this crossover with Canon. You mean the camera company? Yeah, we mean the camera company. We're going to do a camera. We're going to make it Reflector. Who's Reflector? The Decepticon that turns into a camera. You mean Refractor? Yeah, okay, I mean Refractor. Sure, why not? Refractor. Anyway, we're going to do the crossover, and that's what we're going to do. But nobody knows him. You know what we should do? Let's put Optimus Prime on it. But Optimus Prime's never been a camera. Optimus Prime wasn't a sneaker or a PlayStation or a pen either, but we made all that work, and everybody loves Optimus Prime. Okay, we'll go Optimus Prime. Hey, Takara, I got an idea for a crossover with Canon. Hear me out. The camera turns into a reflector. Yeah, I knew you guys would love it. And that's definitely how that went. The Hasbro guys, the suits made the decision. And when Takara heard it, they said, you know what? That's excellent. We're going to do it as a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive. And it is being done. Now, instead of a matrix, the reflector or refractor version still has the arms and the legs, which I think are still the Optimus arms and legs. And the head looks very Siege-ish, but it looks appropriate. And instead of having the matrix, he has the, hold on, what is it it's called? See if I can find it. I can't find what it's called now, but he has like some other thing in his lens. I can't remember what it's called now. But that one is going to be very rare, very hard to get because it's going to be a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive, apparently. I think it makes the most sense, but I understand why they went with the more marketable, bankable Optimus Prime, right? That makes sense, too, from a business standpoint. Neither of it's for me. I don't want a Transformer that looks like a camera, thanks, unless it's the 3 that actually become a reflector. By the way, the reflector actually does come with like a little version of himself that does split into 3. I don't know why it splits into 3, but it splits into 3. So take that for what you will, right? Apparently, according to Amazon Japan, the Optimus Prime is going to be $127.24 US and is slated for release in February of next year. The reflector, being a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive, Quantum Dial. That's what he has, the Quantum Dial. Instead of a Matrix, he has the Quantum Dial. He is going to be released at $146.66. So the Takara reflector version is going to be kind of exponentially more expensive than the Optimus version. I don't know, 130 US for a crossover with Canon. Does that make sense to you guys? I'm not in America. I don't know what the Canadian price is. I just know it's not for me. Speaking of Takara Tomy Mall exclusives, they're also going to have an exclusive Masterpiece character. You know who it's going to be? You know who it's going to be? I'll give you a hint. This Masterpiece character has a release coming out right now as we speak, all across North America, well out in the UK, well out in Asia, out everywhere as part of Velocitron, and it's Burnout, except they're going to call the Masterpiece Die Burnout, of course, based on the Diaclone. Word is that the Masterpiece Burnout will not be just a regular Masterpiece release. It will be a Takara Tomy Mall exclusive. If you really want Burnout, maybe get the Legacy, unless you have a way to order from Takara Tomy Mall, right? But I feel like that they only ship in Japan or whatever. I could be wrong about that. I think that the pre-orders and whatnot for that stuff is open now until September 2nd, I want to say. Maybe September 6th. Something like that. A little bit of sad news. Transformers Heavy Metal. If you like Pokemon Go and you wanted to kind of have that same experience with Transformers Heavy Metal was probably for you. Unfortunately, it did not get past the beta stage. And as of August 31st, the servers will be shut down. Apparently, they are no longer taking like in-app, in-game purchases with actual money. If you have like the cryptocurrency and stuff that's in there, they encourage you to use it now. Thanks for being part of the beta. It'll be removed from like the App Store and all of that stuff, right? So, unfortunate, I guess, for those people. Let's see here. Let's do Jada. Let's do Jada Wave 2. Jada Wave 2, up and coming. So I did the Wave 1. It was sent to me. And I was very thankful to actually take a look at it. And I said, you know what? It's a great little set. Sure, they don't move, but man, they display really nicely with Titans. And there were 18 in it. Wave 2 still has 18. And the 18 in Wave 2 is strange. Some of them are really cool, but there's a couple of strange ones in there. So in Wave 2, they have Optimus Prime. It's a new mold. This time he has his axe instead of his blaster. But the Optimus Prime with his blaster is also there and repainted black as Nemesis Prime. Then we also have a G1 Scorponok, which I found strange because I was like, I said that these would work great displaying them with Titans. It would be really weird to put Scorponok on Scorponok or put Scorponok on Black Zarak. That would be weird. Beast Wars Megatron is in there. That's really cool. Then we have another Bumblebee, but this time all they did is they took the Cliff Jumper mold from the first set and painted it yellow and black. You look at it and you can see that like the Cliff Jumper fin, I guess, is up on Bumblebee's chest now. It's like, that looks weird. That's obviously not Bumblebee, right? I guess one could say, well, it's Bumble Jumper. I guess you could say something like that, right? What else do we have here? Wheeljack is just a straight up reissue. Cliff Jumper is also in there, and he's the repainted Bumblebee. So Bumble Cliff. I don't know what his name would be, but again, you look at it and you're like, that's obviously like Red Bumblebee, right? Battle Trap. I thought Battle Trap was way out of left field to include, but really cool. Ear Razor, who I think might be the most beautiful one in the whole set. She looks gorgeous. Primal's in there. Cheetor's in there. Spin Out, which is basically a red reuse of course, the Sunstreaker from the first go around. Sound Blaster, which is a black repaint of the Sound Wave from the first go around. Red Wing, Acid Storm, and Nova Storm. I find it really strange that we have 2 out of 3 of the Rainmakers, and then they throw Red Wing in there. But okay, whatever. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. And the last one that is a whole new mold, besides for the Beast Wars guys, Mirage. I think the inclusion of Mirage is cool. I kind of felt like he was left out the first time around. So I think that's really, really cool. Okay, I'm going to check in with you guys. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Ironhide and the rumor that I heard about the new SS86 Hot Rod. Apparently, we'll see. I think it's a heavy rumor. I'll show you kind of what I have done so far with the update on the guys for Lyle Kaiser. We'll do trivia. We'll do the unboxing. We'll get out of here, right? Easy peasy. Let's go back up though and see what you guys are saying. I know I've definitely missed some stuff. Let's go up here a bit. How high up do I have to go here? Let's see. Okay, so we pick up here with Brian. Stupid temperatures in the UK. The UK has been having a very you know what? Honestly, over here when we see the temperature stuff in the UK, we're like, yeah, feel you. I feel you 100%. You guys got it even worse than us, I think. But our summers, Brian, have actually been very similar this year. So I 100% feel you. Hey, y'all, I'm waiting on Motormaster and TFC Lyle Kaiser. Both on their way. Can't wait. Oh, good for you, Mike. Exciting evening for you. The TFC Lyle Kaiser, he gets a bit of a bad rap sometimes, but man, I think he's really good. Too big for me. But if he works for you, you know what? Like we did a countdown of the best third-party offerings. And for all of his imperfections, I think that Lyle Kaiser might have been number 1, if I'm not mistaken, because it shocked me and it shocked a lot of people. Hey, Input. By the way, I'm going to say it now. Yesterday, Input done Input and the news. And if you ever want to hear a guy do a spot on, man, British impression, Input your lad. Input is your lad. I mean, it sounded Australian, but he was your lad and he tried, buddy. He tried. Big props, big respect for Input. Let's see. You like the cannons on him. See, Caldeo likes the cannons. So do I. I mean, technically, he has like 4 blasters hanging off of his arms. Come on. That's just cool. I got a new sludge today, and the legs are fine. Oh, beautiful. There you go. See, I love when I hear people getting good sludge. I knew he existed. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, review 1000 is up. Tomorrow we will do 1001 is the plan, which will be Jetwing Optimus Prime. And then we'll do some stuff, of course, next week. But 1000 is up. If you're a patron or channel member, there's an uncut version with some comments and some questions for Cyril that was put up there. But the actual review itself went up. If you haven't watched it yet, honest to God, my suggestion is wake up like Saturday morning, get yourself like a cup of coffee or a glass of juice and like a bagel and some toast or like your cereal, whatever it is you get, sit back for like a half hour and watch it, because I'm telling you now, the nostalgia will blow you away. What always blows me away is not only everything that Cyril collects and the sheer mass of it, but the care that it's had. Like so much of it for being vintage and stuff is in such pristine condition, all original, no peeling stickers, no scrubbed off paint. And he doesn't order all of this online. It doesn't all come from eBay and stuff like that. Like, A lot of it is like local stuff and like flea markets and guy knows a guy and that sort of stuff. It's amazing what he's been able to amass, really, through old-fashioned methods for the most part. So yeah, I really suggest spend your Saturday morning, man. You know, or when you get off work on Friday, if you want to unwind, like take a half hour. It's a very special collection. That's why it's not the biggest, although it's fairly big. It's not the biggest, but it's very special, very quintessential, right? That's what I would say. And I think that will make sense when you watch it. I think you'll say, wow, for the franchises he collects, he really has what you quintessentially need to say that you've got something fairly definitive, you know? It was a very special review to do, honestly. As we go down here, saw Red Cog at Target, but passed on him, 31.49 from. I find it so funny that people are like, no, I'm not spending the 31.50 on a deluxe. Yet when I complain about having to spend 35, 38, 44, $45 on a deluxe, people are like, you're just a complainer. No, I'm not. And now you in the States are starting to do the exact same thing. Like, I'm just saying, man. I get it. I totally get it. I'm right there with you. And right here, couldn't see paying that for a repaint mold worth $22.99. Actually, $19.99 to me. That is. I can see the $22.99. I'll even do one better. I could see it being sold for maybe $24.99, $25.99 because it does come with all the extra accessories. I don't know what like your Voyager price is. But to me, that $31.99 or $31.49 seems in the ballpark for what you guys are paying for a Voyager. Isn't it funny that they're trying to pass off a deluxe at about a Voyager price point? Just saying. Not something that I've talked about in the past, but you know, I'm just saying. Hey, Dragonfly, glad you're here, buddy. Jay passed on ended up picking up Star Wars Black Series Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Cool. It's sad because kids want toys and parents know when something is a ripoff. Parents know, like, you're getting something for a kid's birthday party. A lot of parents, at least here, will say, yeah, okay, you know, $20, $25. They're not going to go out and spend $45. They're not. This is somebody else's kid. No, like, you got to think about, you know, your average consumer, right? And I can't speak for other places in the world. I can only speak from my experience and what I see going on around me. And what I see going on around me is circling the drain of the toilet. It's as simple as that. You can yell at me, you can disagree, you can say I'm wrong all you want. Facts are facts, and it's what I see and it's what I hear right across this country. And I used to say not that long ago that the only place I didn't hear complaining was the US. And now I hear people in the US complaining. They need a different business strategy is all I'm saying. I love the franchise. I don't like the company, you know? And it's so weird because when I sometimes like complain about the company, people say, well, then just stop buying Transformers. I love the franchise is the problem. I just don't like the company handling it. It's like saying I love Star Trek, so I need to like every single film that Paramount does. I don't. I like Star Trek. I like the franchise. I don't care about Paramount. Succeed, fail, go under, be the best. I don't care. Same thing here. I love the franchise. And what concerns me isn't the success or failure of the company. I literally couldn't care less, other than I wouldn't want to see people lose their jobs. But what concerns me is if they keep going with the business model they got, and then this becomes a line that's not as profitable and they decide to shelve it because they've shelved lines before. When was the last time you saw Mask? When was the last time when was the last time you saw G.I. Joe in wide release? I mean, they keep trying to push it out there, crank it out there. And I think they found something special with Classified. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely, they found something special with Classified. But now I even hear some people that are into Marvel Legends and Black Series Classified saying, oh, the prices are getting a little, right? I don't know. I don't collect any of those things. It's the same thing with Amazon. You know, the only thing I use Amazon for, really, is the Transformers exclusives. It does not encourage me to buy anything else off Amazon at all. And if Transformers didn't have exclusives there, I probably wouldn't use Amazon. Because guess what? I don't like Bezos. Like, it's as simple as that, right? So, like, it's a difference between the franchise and the company, is all I'm saying. And I wish more people understood that I differentiate the two, if that makes sense. I'm not going to tell you what I ordered, Marcus. You'll see. Jay, I grabbed Obi-Wan X figure encounters. And they posted your background image to TF Reviewers Instagram. So Anthony, it's funny Anthony mentions this. Earlier today, Anthony said, hey, can you get a picture of what's behind you when you're sat down? Now, that doesn't really work because I'm a little bit different every time I sit here. This is not an area that's always set up like this. It's explicitly set up before I go on live, and when the show is over, all of this is going to come down again. I don't have the space to set it up, but I did take a picture of the entire shelf behind me, and Anthony put it on the TF Reviewers Instagram because he said, let's see if people can identify everything that's on the shelf behind you. And there's a lot. There's a lot. Take a crack at it. Go to the TF Reviewers Instagram. Take a crack at it. See if you can identify it. If not, ask me what it is. That's a big yes, Rex boy. Listening to it on the drive home. Drive safe, Manitoba. Passed on the Cyclonus because of the floppy left arm. So the Cyclonus, a lot of people now are starting to complain about the Select Cyclonus because his left arm can go helicopter around circles, loosey-goosey. But our buddy Dragonfly found a way to hammer, I guess. Dragonfly, I'm really not sure the method you used. I tried to read it, but I couldn't follow it because I'm not a tools guy. But he basically pushed the pin in further, and it worked and made it tighter. So it seems like it's the pin's not being pushed the whole way. That's probably the main issue here. BBTS has the Meg statue for, is that 2,199 input? Is that statue $2,200 on BBTS? I get that Prime 1 Studios Transmetal 2 Megatron is gorgeous, but is it $2,200 gorgeous? Whew, you'd have to be an art collector, man. I had a super loose, yeah. So Dragonfly's talking about what he did there to fix it. Hey, Teen Toys. Glad I tracked down the Takara Target Masters from a few years back. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Absolutely, I hear you. Let's see. Got on what? Oh, got on the pin with a screwdriver. Okay, and used a soft cloth, laid the shoulder on it, and pressed hard. It's nice and tight now. So there you go. He had a screwdriver and he pressed on it hard while it was on a cloth. I have one loose peg on something. I might try that. No, I guess it wasn't you, Caldeo. I thought it was you who had said something about it being a heavy retool. I apologize. I thought it was Caldeo. It's not. By the way, what he's referring to there in that comment is when I said that I thought it was him who had mentioned that Dead End was a heavy retool of drag strip, but it wasn't him. I don't know who it was now. The feet and the calf area look very disappointing. They look disproportioned. I saw it and I thought back to Bobby Skullface's review of drag strip where he said the proportions were off and looked like a little kid. And I looked at the Dead End and I'm like, the legs and feet compared to the thigh. I get it now. I get what he's talking about looking at Dead End. I didn't really notice it with drag strip, but I get what he's talking about now with Dead End. The body of an EOS R5 is 4K. This fig is 170. Oh, well, then there you go. Yeah, I didn't even know that it was 170, honestly, input. The price of a deluxe just jumped to 25. At least the Speedia on the tag show. Your price in the States jumped to 25. I'm going to tell you now, 25 for a deluxe in the US is too much. You guys should be 20. We should probably be about 25 here in Canada. That's too much, I think. The camera Optimus Prime looks hilarious. It does look hilarious. I agree. Hey, BS Prime, been a while, buddy. Hey, Anthony. My acting skills are amazing. Thanks, man. Hey, gaming with Sergio. I love Sergio. What a good name, man. What a good name. Do you get to walk around with that cool name all day? Because that's rocks. It's way better than mine, Dennis. What a lame name that is. The back. What? The backed off a little here. Oh, in the 80s, like, no, oh, the heat backed off a little there. I got you now. I got you. And by the way, hi, Shansi. The Canon camera looks horrid, but Reflector is one of my favorite characters. That's fair. If you can get it from Takara Tomy Mall, good luck. Reminder to self, produce Canon crossover episode of Creator and Corporate Man. I still got to like download those or something. I don't even know how to get them. I'm not going to lie, Anthony. I don't know how to get them. I don't have an eidetic memory. I have a typical 44. I'm your future, buddy. I know you and I are the same age, but the way my mush brain works now is what's going to face you down the road, buddy. For us, the humidity kicked in, but the temperatures went to the 80s. Humidity is a killer, man. Quantum dial, yeah, comes with reflector. Thank you, input. I saw it after, but thank you all the same. Maybe the little reflector must be for those people who want to recreate G1 moments like the scene with Thunder Cracker. I mean, I guess so. I have a custom painted resin cast of the Centurion pack for that our buddy Dragonfly done for me, right? As we go down here, but I know I'm skipping some stuff here because I want to get into the kind of end of the news, so to speak. I live 2 miles from Lake Erie. The humidity, yeah, off Lake Erie, you'd get the same sort of thing. It's terrible. It's especially when you're trying to go to bed at night and everything. Everything like right now, the table that everything's on, like it's all a bit sticky, right? I'd love to see another set of those Jada Toys. Well, you know, I mean, there's been 2. I don't know how many waves they'll do. It seems like they're doing packs of 18. If it sells, we'll get more. It's as simple as that. I like the heft. I like the heft of them, right? Maybe the tiny Scorpionaut could be used for Unicron scenes. Could be. Good point. Good point, Caldeo. Really good point, actually, buddy. Yeah, I'm with you right there, honestly, in that. That was a really good point. I have a red card. I usually get things below cost because of the promotions. Target has Motormaster on the way. I've paid 71 US. Wow. That's literally half the price of what he is here, which is 140. Like you literally paid half the price of what he is here. That's a problem. That's not inflation. That's not like currency conversion. That's a ripoff. Let's see. Okay, that was weird. Chat glitched out for a moment. Didn't for me. Hey, Raphael. If Hasbro went bankrupt, they would sell their properties. 100% they would, in a heartbeat like that. Some other company would handle it, and I'd love it. That'd be great. I need a drink of water. I had to pull an input. You get that joke input? You got that one, hey? It'd be funny if you started blue screening your collection behind you. You know what? I got to be honest with you. I know literally nothing about blue screen or green screen. I don't know if I have anything that can do it. I know zero about it. I've never used it. The most I ever did was trying to get it, the app to work with our youngest when he was into Stickbots. Remember Stickbots? When he was into them, he had the app. The green screen never worked on that at all. I know zero about it. You're right, Chauncey, but I wouldn't be able to do it because I don't know anything about it. My Cyclonus is fine. Good thing I stuck with Universe Cyclonus. I saw Moose's review. Nonetheless, I think it looks cool. Plus, Dragstrip needs a friend. That's a lot of money for a statue. 2,200 bucks. Wow. Plan on doing a short video on the fix for Cyclonus. Yeah, do it, guys. For anybody wondering how to fix their select Cyclonus, Dragonfly is going to do a video of it. If you had a small ambulance transformer, would BB fix it or give away? What? If you had a small ambulance transformer, would BB fix it or give away? I guess it depends on who the transformer is. I suppose. I guess. I don't know. Hey, Fire Prime. Has anyone had the clear plastic on Earthrise barricade roof break? I have not. I've heard of it happening, but all I can say is I've never had any issue with clear plastic ever. But I know a lot of people have. So that's sad. If yours broke, that's sad. My DCS Army drone is my Ironhide. That's fair. My guess is community post overriding Cosmos, yes or no. I'm not going to tell you. You'll see when the time comes. I'm living my best life at 44, nearly 45. Listen, buddy. Listen, buddy. I'm right there with you. 44. 44 more. I did not realize, however, that we were the same age. I had 2 Blue Streak roofs break. So there you go. Tracer had a couple break. That's sad. I feel bad for you guys. It shouldn't be. It should be built better than that. I saw Jada and Nemesis Prime. I got one of those. Hasbro obviously isn't doing a great job, but I don't think I trust any company with Transformers, period. There's some I would. I'm not going to say any names, but there's a couple of companies I would trust with them. I'd love to see. I'm not going to say it because right now they might be doing third-party stuff. And no, but there's a couple that I would. My smoke screen has this problem too. Hasbro replacement was a Play School Optimus Prime. I feel ya, Fire Prime. Remember when I didn't get that tire from a punch counter punch, and I got Ultimate Cyberverse Megatron, who was great like this. Dude had no elbows. I'm sad. My barricade broke months ago. Disappointing. That is sad. Clear Plastic and Rodimus Primal do not get along, if you say so. Anyone know the name of the gray to repaint the yellowing of Kingdom Cyclonus? Is there a particular shade? Because reasons. Look at Dragonfly being out young, still 39. Right? Oh, but a child. Anthony's turning 45 in November. My wife's birthday is in November, and our youngest's birthday is in November. My birthday and our oldest's birthday are both in May. In fact, our oldest and me are exactly 1 week apart. I seen third-party Starscream called Space Knights. Weird. 51. Look at Manitoba. 49. Look at you guys. Anyone that don't like clear plastic won't want the new Ironhide if its tabs are made from clear plastic. Now, let's talk about that. So we got 2 bits of news left. First is this is a very, very grainy image. Caldillo has already seen this image. It was sent to me on my Discord, though I had seen it kicking around on a couple of other sites. Very grainy, and supposedly, I don't know if you can see it. I doubt you can, but I'll put it up here. I don't know if you can see that. It is the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod mold, and we knew that it was getting another use. I suspected it was going to be like a shattered glass or something. This looks like a more, say, toy accurate look for the guy. Like he has orange hands. The flame detail is more detailed on his chest. Like there's actually more flames. The thighs seem to have a little bit of paint detail on them. The lower legs now are all red with the, I'll say, the triangle on the front of the leg having the little triangles on it. Like I think there's a red one and like 2 yellow ones, and there's some silver around it. His whole pelvis section has all of the detail. Now, this might just be a fan hope. There might be absolutely nothing to it. I don't see the sword. I do see 2 blasters that look to be cast in gray more than silver. I think the head is probably the same. It might be a Studio Series 86 toy accurate version of Hot Rod. I've also heard that this version of Hot Rod may be a buzzworthy Bumblebee version of Hot Rod. I don't know. I really don't know for sure. I have only heard a couple of rumblings about it, so take it as high rumor. High rumor. That's it. That's all I got. You know what I know. It's the Studio Series 86 version. I've heard it could be buzzworthy Bumblebee, and red lower legs and orange hands. Like it's a toy accurate deco for sure. Is it real? I don't know. We'll see as time goes. But today I'm now 19. Happy birthday, Caldillo. I didn't even know it was your birthday, buddy. Now let's talk about the Ironhide. So there's good and bad with it. When I first saw the cropped image before we went on air last week, I said, that looks awful. And I think the cropped image did look awful. And I really noted how the biceps looked bad, man. The biceps looked bad. But then the more I saw it, I said, okay, this is kind of interesting. Not perfect, but kind of interesting. And then I saw it next to the Earthrise Ironhide, and everybody started making comparisons, and everybody said, Earthrise is garbage. I said, well, it's not, but I understand that it was hard to get. And then a couple of people said, the engineering and stuff is infinitely better. I had an argument with this, I think dude's name's Kal-El or something. Like, I don't know, but like I couldn't handle talking to him with all of his bra and yo-yo, and it was no, I couldn't. So I sat back and I said, okay, look, I'm going to look at this objectively with the math from my perspective. So let me explain my perspective and then the good and the bad that I see with this so far. From my perspective, I was one of the people who actually got the 2-pack of Ironhide and Prowl. Here in Canada, they retailed for $59.99. I bought it, so that would be a value for each one of $30. Lo and behold, a couple of months later, I actually get an email saying that the price went down and they refunded me $10, which means my Earthrise Ironhide was $25 Canadian. Okay, $25. Y'all with me? A deluxe for $25 Canadian. The new one will be a Voyager. That's what they're saying. A Voyager here typically retails for $47.99, although that's not the full story about that either. But we'll say $47.99. With taxes, 15% here. That's $55. Unless you go Toys R Us. Then it's $55 before taxes. That means that the new Studio Series 86 compared to the Earthrise for me is literally double the price plus another $5. So there's an extra $30. So I need to look at it and say, where am I getting an extra $30 of value? I don't see it. Here's what I see. I see that they haven't, I'll say improved things, but they've changed things. So you've removed a paint app being the yellow stripe, though I'm willing to bet that we're going to get that yellow stripe at some point, and it's going to be buzzworthy Bumblebee Ironhide. Just you wait and see. I like that the windows are now blue, which funny enough, I said some time ago that you know what they should have done with Ironhide? They should have put blue inserts in for his windows. Funny that actually happened. But then you took away the whole roof section. Some people said that was parts forming and garbage. Okay. All right. You took away the roof section, which was used as a play feature, and it's the whole sled thing, right? That's made up of, because I counted it up, 7 molds. So you took away 7 molds and you took away a paint app. Okay, I get it. You traded out the top for now panels that fold up on the legs. Cool. Maybe you got an extra piece somewhere in the torso a little bit. Fine. And instead of the yellow stripe app, now you have clear blue plastic that's painted a red that doesn't match the red plastic. I feel like what we have here is apples to apples. We have another deluxe. It's a fine deluxe. It's a good deluxe. But there's nothing here at all remote that says Voyager at all. It is equivalent but different to the Earthrise. Now, here's the good side. Even though I think it's overpriced, even though I don't think it's a Voyager, the aftermarket went bonkers on the Earthrise Ironhide. Some fools, yes, I say it, some fools way overspent. Said, I got an Ironhide for $150. If you spend $150 on a deluxe, you're a fool, and you deserve to lose your money. It's as simple as that. You can like it, you can hate it, but it's fact. Nevertheless, the price went bonkers. This new Studio Series 86 destroys that market, because now people will say, well, even if I don't think it's Voyager, in our case here, $55 is a lot cheaper than the $150 for the Earthrise. So I guess I'll get the Studio Series 86. I think that it's a good thing. I think it's a fine enough figure. I don't hate it. I don't have a hate on for it. I think it's fine. Looks fine in robot. Looks all right in vehicle. Like, it looks fine, although some people hate all of the like panel hinges and stuff. But I think both modes look fine enough. I just don't think that it should be sold as a Voyager. I'm pretty sure that Hasbro is saying, hey, sell it as a Voyager, because they know what that secondary market is. If customers, if fans did not buy the Earthrise at the inflated prices and just said, yeah, those scalpers can sit on that, just no, we don't need it bad enough in our life, I can almost guarantee you that this new one would be sold still as a deluxe, because they'd be looking to make the sales. Now they're saying, well, people have accepted the Earthrise for $150. So if we charge them a little bit more here and we say it's because of engineering and paint and design, if we give them that line of crap, because that's what that is, then we can sell them a deluxe at a Voyager price and they'll be happy. It's a very shrewd business tactic. It's also a very underhanded business tactic. I think it's a good figure. I don't think it should be a Voyager, but I'm glad that it's going to destroy the crazy aftermarket on the Earthrise. That's my take on it. I think it's all right. I think it's overpriced, but I'm glad that it's going to destroy the aftermarket. Will I get it? I doubt it. I'm happy enough with my Earthrise. Actually, I think the Siege is the best out of all of them. But you never know. If I got it on sale, maybe. Or if the price of Voyager went down, maybe. Right? Because all of that is just based on now. And like I said, we're going to talk about that Voyager price a little bit later. So that's my take on those last two news items. Let's do the trivia, and then I'll look at what you guys were saying there, okay? Let's do the trivia. So speaking of Ironhide, by the way, that same guy that I was having the argument with, when I pointed this out, he said, that parts forming is garbage. That was just trash thrown in the original. It doesn't relate to anything. I said, actually, it was in the show. And he said, I said, maybe you should learn the lore. He was like, no, it's not. Oh, please tell me what episode. So we'll get to that. What was Ironhide and Ratchet's separate piece called? Was it called A, the sled? Was it called B, the one box? Was it called C, the slide bay? Or was it called D, the platform? That separate piece from Ratchet and Ironhide. What's it officially called? The sled, the one box, the slide bay, or the platform? A, B, C, or D? I'm going to go up. We're going to see what you guys say. Let me go up here a little bit. Is the 86 Ironhide just another price hiked wannabe Voyager like Hot Rod was? I'm thinking so. I mean, I could be wrong. As I say all that, maybe I would get that Ironhide in hand. I would put them on the scale, and I would say, man, we have the mass. You know what? There is more engineering here. There is more. I have lived to be surprised before. Like, I didn't think, for example, that Grimlock was going to be a true leader. And he was. In fact, he had more mass, plus he has a ton of paint and better engineering than what a lot of Voyagers have had, or leaders have had. I was skeptical about Galvatron because he was the height of a Voyager. But you know what? The mass was there. It was more paint apps. It was definitely more engineering. I get it. I can even take a little lower mass if you give me so much more. Like, for example, Voyager Optimus Primal clocked in at 132 grams instead of the typical 145 to 165. Okay, so a little bit less. But look at all the texture detail. Like, those molds had a lot of texture detail. There was a lot of design put in the Optimus Primal. And I respect the fact that there was a lot of paint put on it. So I get it. We gave up a little bit of mass because so much more love and detail went into it, right? So if the math makes sense, then I give credit where credit is due. The math doesn't make sense for Hot Rod. Anybody can try and spin it any way they want, but you're losing half the mass. I don't care how many parts or how much paint you put on it. You took away half of the value. You took away half the value. I don't know for sure with the Ironhide, but for me to justify it, I'm going to need to be able to see $30 more in value. And for anybody to say that it has to do with the business and, you know, oh, costs have gone up and all of this nonsense, I don't care. That's not my problem as a consumer. That's your problem as a business. Your job is to still make yourself profitable. It's not my job to make you profitable. It's your job to win my business and make yourself profitable. If you can't do it, maybe you should step aside. Just saying. I knew Hot Rod was going to be buzzworthy. $10 says possible. Maybe. I could believe it. But I like I said, Blue Raccoon, that is a huge if. That's a huge if. Buzzworthy Deluxes are more expensive than regular Deluxes. If they sell a Hot Rod for Buzzworthy, oh, it would definitely be marked up. And if they sell the Hot Rod there, it will definitely be marked up too. It's better than ER Ironhide, but that's not saying much. I don't know why. I don't know why people are like that. It's better than Earthrise. Earthrise Ironhide Ash is great. I don't understand what anybody's problem is with him. He's fantastic, honestly. Another, I mean, again, just more ammo for my shirt, not a Voyager. I got Siege Ironhide and Ratchet. Then the DK Guard and Shattered Glass Ratchet. I'm not paying Voyager price for a better transformation. Clear tabs. Yeah, clear tabs will probably break. Cost of Iron, though the cost of Ironhide increases, is a kick in the pants. I think the Voyager Ironhide's vehicle mode is ugly. That's a lot of people think the vehicle mode is ugly. I don't even hate the vehicle mode. Dang the 10, the wife just called, and now I'm 18 minutes behind. Oh, if I get the 86 Deluxe Ratchet, there is no 86 Deluxe Ratchet. There's an 86 Core Ratchet, and then there'll be a Voyager Ratchet. And it yellows. I won't complain. It's, oh, you're talking about a movie Ratchet. Okay. If it yellows, it would be movie Ratchet. I got you. They can't even match the paint colors with the price hike. Well, I mean, they probably could. They don't care to. Sled, Slide Bay, Parts. It's not Parts Former. It's not no, Ash, you're wrong. It's not a Parts Former. It's a thing. It is called the One Box. It is officially a thing. It is called the One Box. Listen close, Ash. Here's the next thing. What did Ironhide call his One Box? That's the next question. So the part that detaches is officially called the One Box. Ironhide had a nickname for his. Did he call it A, the Blast Box? Did he call it B, the Loaded Locker? Did he call it C, the Cavalry? Or did he call it D, the Bunker? A, B, C, or D? Did he call it the Blast Box, the Loaded Locker, the Cavalry, or the Bunker? Second question for you. What did he call his One Box? So no, Ash, no to anybody. If anybody ever says it's a parts forming thing, no, it's an actual feature that the guy had. It is a thing. It is called the One Box. It's official, right? When they did it, it's not that they couldn't work the roof in. It's that they didn't do it because it's not really supposed to be. They were giving us the feature of the One Box. What do we think? Hey, Cardboard Bots, what do we think he called his One Box? What did Ironhide call his? Siege will be hard to replace. Hey, oh, you're all over the map with this one. My problem with Earthrise Ironhide is the feet hanging out the back and the color mismatch. It's so funny because the new one still has a color mismatch. I don't really have much. I guess I got a bit of a color mismatch on mine. The feet hanging out the back, I get that. Didn't bother me, but I mean, you know that there's ways to solve that. You know that there's kits to solve that, right? A lot cheaper than having to pay a whole Voyager price again. Or, funny enough, just don't pay any mind to the feet. You know, just throwing it out there. That being said, the SS86, part of their like brand new engineering is, if you'll notice, like the feet are now like two flaps. That's right. That's the feet. C. Yeah, you guys are right. Anybody who said C, he called it the Cavalry. Now, for anybody who said it was never in the show, yeah, it was. Actually, was in all three parts of More Than Meets the Eye, part 1, 2, and 3. Part 1, we actually see Ratchet's One Box detached off of him next to him. It's after Hound gets hurt and Holler. It's the same scene that Holler's in. And Holler pulls him up. And there's the One Box. In Ratchet's case, it's a repair bay. For Ironhide, he doesn't actually deploy his, but it's there. In part 2, Bumblebee mans it. He gets in the back of Ironhide in the One Box and mans the laser. And you'll notice when you take the roof up, when you remove the One Box, you're supposed to put the blaster in there because it's the laser. And Bumblebee mans the laser in the One Box and fires it to divert a river. In part 3, Ironhide deploys the laser from his One Box while he's driving to shoot down Skywarp. I don't know how anybody has ever been able to miss and say, it was never in the cartoon. It's literally in the first 3 episodes of the cartoon. It's a thing. So as I see it, you're taking away a feature with the SS86 Ironhide. I guess because he didn't use it in the movie, right? I'd like to see the back of that Ironhide. But I hope that I gave you guys some new information, right? What if they did SS Beast Wars? I don't know why they would do SS Beast Wars. Beast War, they weren't in the movie, man. Got the first one wrong, second one right. Gotta see more than meets the eye. Quit your yapping, start your shooting, right? Okay, let's do the last thing, which is going to be the unboxing. So, wait, actually, before that, just very, very quick. Here is Leo Zach now, and the head is in here for Lyle Kaiser. In fact, you can actually take the top of his head off if you want, and these two flaps in his chest, if you can see them, are the sides of Lyle Kaiser's head. They come up and like fold around the side of Leo Zach's head, and the mask of Lyle Kaiser is right there. So like the back of Leo Zach's head is the mask of Lyle Kaiser. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how this turned out. And he was a lot simpler to color. And then so far, for anybody who hasn't seen it, though I do definitely still have some work to do. I got to actually consult with Justin on a couple of things. But here is Jaguar. Real happy with this guy. I did his windows orange on the back, if you can see it. I do have his head up because I'm letting some white dry here. Yes, I did take some liberties. Without his chest minion on, everything should be white. But I found that looked really stark and boring. So I did some of the purple back there. Why did I do the purple on the top and bottom rather than a solid purple line through the center, making it look more like Jaguar, more like when he has his chest minion on? Because I have the chest minion. And when I put the chest minion on him, I would like the purple to still be visible. So yeah, there is Jaguar so far. Really hoping to be able to do this review for you guys next week. I am loving this. I will have, when the time comes, don't worry. I will have links to the files, links to the whole thing. If you want to do your own Lyle Kaiser, if you'd like to use this set, which I think I've seen a lot of upgrade sets. I think this is, bar none, the best one. I really, really do. Okay, now for the unboxing. Autocorrect is evil. Jedi, not Jewish. Okay. What if the stolen Ironhide toy was missing the roof? Ha! Ha! That'd be funny. Call it 95 Beast. Studio Series 95 Beast Wars. That'd be great. Battle Sled makes more sense, but it's not a bad. It's the one box. Call it by the name, man. You learned something new. Okay, so first things first, our buddy Justin from the 3D Corner actually gave me one of 4 mugs he has. He gave one to me, he gave one to Hennessy, and he kept one himself, and I'm not sure who he's giving the other one to. It's just a mug. I'm going to use it for painting, actually, to put water in for brushes and stuff. Optimus on one side, nice Optimus art, and Megatron on the other side. So, I mean, cool, right? Then somebody asked earlier what I ordered from Amazon. This is one thing I ordered from Amazon, and it's ba-boom. Yeah, buddy. It is G2 Leadfoot. I didn't even know the character existed until this, but I loved the look of the yellow, and I love the blue paint. And Master Dominus. A lot of people said that their Master Dominus is real loosey-goosey. In my experience, this guy, first impression, this guy, it's real hard to get his head down. It scrapes. I'm afraid I'm going to scrape the yellow paint off. I'm hoping it's just yellow plastic underneath. But he does transform easier than the Earthrise Mirage that I have. I love that, like, pearly metallic-y blue. I adore it. And when it comes to Master Dominus, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I got this on his arm, I guess, but like, mine's fine. I guess I'm lucky. Mine's fine. I like the matte black paint on him too. I think that's really cool. I like the fossilizers. I mean, I'm going to go back and revisit my Onyx Prime and kind of start incorporating some different stuff. Hopefully I can make him better than what he was, right? That's not all I got this week. Also this week, and this is going to bring me to an interesting story. Okay, so I'm going to lay that there. I got Road Hauler. I love this mold. Now, I said I was not paying $8 more for this guy in green. This is when things get interesting. I happened to notice him at Walmart. I was there, and yeah, sure enough, they were out. And I said, man, the green looks real good. Now, here's the thing. He did not retail for a normal Voyager price. He was cheaper. He was $4 cheaper. And I said, I don't want to pay $4 more for a green, but I love this mold. And I'm so curious if the peg issue from Grapple is here. Newsflash, it's not. By the way, I have the ties cut. He feels a little bit different to me. The plastic-wise feels a little bit different to me than the other uses of this mold, but it still feels solid and good. It's tremendous. It's really tremendous. I wish that my whole thing was I wish that I didn't pay the $4 more. But the story gets better. Because I also got Override, who I wasn't going to get. I wasn't going to get her. I certainly wasn't going to get her for a Voyager price. But here's the thing. For whatever reason, when I went up and I scanned Holler first, and he scanned in at the 44, whatever, 44.97, I think it was, right? Instead of 47.97, right? So $45, sorry, $3 cheaper. I thought it was $4 cheaper. But then she wouldn't scan for some weird reason. I don't know if the barcode was jacked up or I don't know, but she didn't scan. So I got help from the girl, and I paid a deluxe price for her. I can tell you now, she's a little less than I would like for a Voyager, but if she was going to pass as a Voyager, she's just barely passing. But for a deluxe, I got a steal because she's more than a deluxe. I was not going to get her. If I had to pay 2 regular Voyager prices, never would have happened. But getting one for a deluxe price and then a lower Voyager price, I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe God's telling me to pick these 2 up because they're cheaper than I thought they were going to be, right? I lucked out with Override 100%. So going to be up and coming. No doubt about it. Now, I do have something else, something that arrived today from our buddy Grimlock Gone, but I'm going to save that for next week. And that being said, ladies and gentlemen, love the Holler colors. And the Override. I'm still divided for the new Override. Well, I did review the original. Actually, I think it was a recolor of the original from our buddy Maximal 10. And I was really impressed with her then. Don't know the character really, but I was impressed with her. So for Deluxe, yeah, I was willing to give this a try, buddy. Willing to give this a try. Hey, Sovereign. Tail end, buddy, but better late than never. Master Dominus needs leather chaps. He does, Shansi, I agree. Blue being Walmart, that employee got fired for the mistake. No, guarantee that employee did not get fired for the mistake. Not here. Trust me. As somebody who worked at Walmart, no, trust me. Yeah, I know Override. It's so weird. I know Override's the leader of Velocitron, and I was reading about her. I'm like, this is idiotic. Because she's the fastest and wins races, that makes her the leader of a planet. I can't get behind the series. I can't take Unicron Trilogy seriously. I just can't. All right, ladies and gents, I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. You know I love each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. Also, don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, each and every single one of you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either right here in the live streams, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, you know what I'm going to say, inside the videos.